What is good, Cardano fam, ADA gang? We have lots of exciting updates to unpack today, so hit that subscribe, hit that like. Cardano via Google is searched 6 times more than Polkadot and 4 times more than Toncoin on average. Now, this is for the year of 2024, starting from the beginning up until today. And this is Google searches, this is Google Trends. And why this is important is because, yes, you can argue this is cherry picking. Yes, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana have more search results, but this is showing projects that are above, below in market cap. And it's showing us that Cardano has a lot of search queries. If we go back to spring, we can see massive amount of search queries. So this tells us that while price is low, while Bitcoin dominance is high, and while Bitcoin global search is low, similarly, people are on the fence and they're putting in a lot of search queries on YouTube and here on Google, and they're keeping an eye on Cardano. So the masses, this is how they operate. People, troll KOLs will tell you, oh, Cardano's dead, but the data is the data. It's undeniable. So the case in point here is that the pulse is there. People are searching Cardano. And in many cases, especially towards the beginning of the new year, massive amounts, huge. Cardano there in blue with Polkadot in red, yellow for Toncoin. And again, you guys can check out this data for yourself. Just use Google Trends. And no disrespect to Polkadot or Toncoin. I like Polkadot. I think Telegram also is fantastic. But again, case in point that the pulse is there. Congratulations to the 120 tickers that successfully completed the bonding curve and launched on Splash. Looks like all the quirks and hiccups have been getting ironed out, which is great, very smooth. Gotta say, says Jupiter, at this point trading on SnekFun through Splash protocol does indeed feel superior to Solana. I love that. Swaps have been rapid. I like that. So I think sometimes people will over dramatize bugs or slowness. It's like, guys, give it like 24 hours. Come on, and I think both parties are always trying to blame, but we need to move forward with objective optimism. DexHunter, Dex Aggregator, terminal launching soon. Find the hottest new tokens first. Very nice. SnekFun and Splash are working perfectly now, integrating SnekFun stats and swaps soon to DexHunter, so they are tradable on all our partners like TapTools and Vespr Wallet. I like that. This is great. CTO from IOG, while Partnerchains L1 Plus are secured by Cardano stake pool operators, so SPOs and their delegators or stakers receive block production rewards and potentially transaction fees if implemented on the L1 Plus ledger. So we know midnight is around the corner. We hear about SPOs already getting ready. We hear about SPOs getting even more rewards, delegators getting rewards. We have a fantastic liquid staking that doesn't leave your wallet, removal of the intermediaries, and plus with partner chains around the corner, I think rewards, guys, is going to get crazy. The incentives are going to get crazy for the blockchains that want to be partner chain, like Midnight or with Algorand. And in the case of stakers, we're going to get even more rewards. Cardano rewards, Midnight rewards, Algorand rewards. It's a win-win, triple win. And this is important because we have Romain highlighting this, in response. While this is happening, all this goodness is happening. Galaxy Research saying that Ethereum L1 protocol revenue from L2s is almost zero since the Dencon upgrade. And so I kind of thought of Justin Bonds for a second. He was congratulating Cardano with the Chang hard fork, making us really truly the most decentralized, and with Genesis keys getting burned. And you see this, and it's like maybe he had a point about what are these L2s really doing? I think there's a need for layer 2s, but what do you guys think about this? About revenue almost zero? Is it mostly because of the global market, or is it something else? Let me know. I'm really excited for SPOs and with partner chains. And speaking of partner chains are customizable, so the developers can decide which ledger accounting model they want to implement. Transaction fees typically are decided at the ledger level. Note that rewards and fees are paid on the partner chain. So it's a responsibility of stake pool operators to pay delegators. Let's read a little bit. This is an older post months back, but it was linked. This is IOG's post on partner chains. Some chains lack a sufficient number of validators, rendering the network vulnerable to low-cost attacks. The Partnerchains Alpha V1 release allows developers of a new blockchain network to bootstrap its security by leveraging Cardano's extensive network of stake pool operators. By leveraging SPOs, both new and existing networks can quickly increase the number of validators for a more robust and efficient security paradigm. This release includes a toolkit which introduces the following innovations for developers. So let's just highlight that. It's a very short, it ends real quick. Shared security. Partnerchains can leverage Cardano SPOs to bolster security. Mixed validator committee. Combined committees of trusted permission validators and Cardano SPOs for balanced oversight. Consensus model flexibility. Partnerchains can implement any consensus model, accommodating permission validators. I think of like proof of work that gets galvanized, that gets enhanced. It feels very synergetic, at least theoretically right now. We have to wait and see, but very exciting. Opt-out capability. Partnerchains can transition to L1 status, gaining full independence from Cardano without any lock-in mechanisms. Finally, SPO participation. Any Cardano can become, or SPO, can become a validator for a partner chain with minimal costs related to hardware upgrades, no required permissions, and no software expenses. The toolkit simplifies this configuration process. Good stuff. Good stuff. Very nice benefits. And I'm very excited to see Midnight Network, but also very excited to see what Algorand does. And we see that the CTO of Algorand Foundation is very excited. And I think there's going to be a lot of synergy there. World Mobile Token buyback brief a few days ago. So latest buyback over 38,000 World Mobile Token, taking the total buyback balance to almost 1.4 million World Mobile Tokens. So really nice. I love to see these infographics. And it's further testament to the healthy support of the chart and supporting the community. I really like these initiatives. Dawson says Cardano is on its path to actually solving the blockchain trilemma. Well, what is the blockchain trilemma? There's a lot of issues, right, with scalability, feasibility, viability in blockchain. First, they said Cardano doesn't have smart contracts, right? And then we saw that in the end of 2021. Next, they said it wasn't decentralized, but even Justin Bonds, who's criticizing decentralization and L2s, turned around and congratulated us with Chang hard fork. And with the burning of Genesis keys, we are truly the most decentralized. Now they will probably say it isn't scalable. As we saw in yesterday's video with Leios, we don't have an exact timeline, but I think IOG is going to deliver. And in the words of Charles, a dramatic increase in performance to L1 and whatnot. So guys, I think that people are fading Cardano, and often some of the best projects get the most FUD. And we'll see some FUD in just a moment. Alex Becker has some new FUD. It lives rent-free in his head, so thank him for that. Strike Finance, we're thrilled to announce our partnership with Encoins. Together, we'll integrate Encoins V2 to allow private DeFi transactions. I saw they also announced their team and doing some like doxing, so that's great. DeFi 2.0 on Cardano. Zerberus. I haven't checked on Zerberus in a while. What if we could integrate Zerberus tracking capabilities directly with law enforcement? Now, if you guys don't know, Zerberus is doing great stuff to enhance security, uplift reporting, give people a ZAC XBT in their pocket, and really help so that people, when they make report submissions, we can kind of tether them together and get to the bottom of removing the obscurity with the amount of grifting in crypto that can happen a lot, right? So this will supercharge their fraud reports Siren 100x and make scamming on the blockchain extremely dangerous for criminals. I love that. So yeah, this is just like theoretical, but I think that would be great. They're going to be having a discussion, they say here, some of the topics we may discuss tomorrow at the International Symposium on Economic Crime. We are proud to be invited to such an exclusive event, and this is great. This is great. Why not? And I think that even though sometimes people are maybe turned off by big like corporate governmental institutions, like the work that people do to make stuff more SAFU is much appreciated. And I think that Zerberus, again, people are sleeping on this project because not only are they looking to uplift Cardano, they're looking to uplift holders of all networks, not just Cardano. If other networks benefit, Cardano network benefits as well. Well, speaking of other networks, Alex Becker out with his, need I say more? But I pause it right at this frame because 1 minute in, he's just like for a few seconds, he was just mentioning Cardano, just a cheeky comedy, and giving his audience, with over 2.6K likes and over 1,000 retweets, over 130,000 views of Cardano living rent-free. In his head, I think that, guys, I agree with him. If you're selling right now, it's stupid. He's basically saying in a nutshell that like the huge bull market is around the corner. Same sentiment that we've been echoing, right? Even if we disagree with Alex, I don't agree with Alex on everything, but I do agree that the bull market is around the corner. And I speculate that he probably has a bag. I think that he has a Cardano bag. That's probably why he's dropping cheeky little sneer humor here and there. So, hey, Alex, from a fellow Alex, I want to thank you, Alex Becker, for letting Cardano live rent-free in your head. And if you have a bag, man, like maybe you can be our exit liquidity. So we continue, and let's see what others, DReps, are saying about, burning of the treasury, which is stupid. I don't think that's a good idea at all. But also with like big spending of the treasury. And let's see an update on this, right? The 3UTXO. In a nutshell, I don't support 3UTXO. I don't think they're proven. I don't see any good experience. The more I hear from them, the more bearish I get on them, like a negative sentiment, if such thing was possible. So it's an overwhelming, like it's almost 60% no. I don't know which of you guys, like what you're smoking with the 17.7. To each their own, but I don't know of any objective reason to say this 17.7. It does not make any sense to me. So let's see what others are saying. Stake with Pride is also a DRep, and I think Stake with Pride is a great DRep. I think Cardano, Yoda, Stake with Pride, and especially Hosky are great. Stake with Pride says Cardano and Bitcoin, by the way, have been fine with no treasury for years. No need to rush and spend it all now that we have it. Let's be calculatingly methodic. What an interesting last few phrase. Let's be calculatingly methodic. So I'd like to imagine that each ADA is worth at least $3, right? And if you imagine each ADA is $3, there's no way we're giving you $600 million worth of ADA. Let's remember, guys, I don't want to throw shade. I still have some wild cards, but if I have to defend Cardano, I absolutely will. The project like 3UTXO with their music project Noom, it's like a botted Twitter, I speculate, and they're not even willing to pay $9 for a check mark. Why would you trust a company that they're not active on Twitter, they don't want to pay $9 for a check mark with $600 million? And imagine the governance power. You're giving all your resources to someone who has a massive amount of power at that point. So that's a big no. Chris O echoing similar stuff, but in this case, burning of treasury. Cardano fam, 2 non-negotiables for me that will push for either by enshrining it in the Cardano constitution or through governance action. 45 billion ADA hard cap, no burning of treasury funds. I agree with these 100%. I've vocalized that as well. I don't think burning makes any sense. I said burning makes little to no sense. Agreed. I've yet to see any meaningful implementation of burn mechanisms. Let me know, guys, if you've seen any meaningful burn mechanism. I think hard cap, no burn, makes the most sense. And just because we have money in the treasury doesn't mean we have to spend it right away. We need to be very fiscally preserving that. And it's bizarre. I'm noticing the people on Twitter. I won't name any names. Y'all know who you are if you're watching this video. I'm taking my notes. I'm observing. I'm listening. Y'all know there's some people pushing for urgency to just burn through those funds, and it's crazy. I'm noticing it. All proposals for ADA funding from the Treasury should have contracts in place, escrow and payment on milestones completed based on the proposals projects, extensions on time reduced payouts as penalty. Failure to deliver should result in payback plans. So Crypto Crow, in a nutshell, is saying there should be KPIs met. There should be responsibilities. There should be like, if you don't do this, we do that. Not just give money and walk away, right? You've got to have accountability. Because once you give that money, what's the incentive to put in the hard work, right? It's not, right? Once you give out the money, it's good. Psychologically, it's good. So I said he's a good crow. I like Crypto Crow a lot. Chris O, make sure you guys are following all these guys. Many of these guys are DReps. And let's finish off with Big Pay. Similarly, Big Pay said, are you selling your ADA? I'm not. Spending treasury is selling. ADA is at a 4-year low. It's possible that it could 20x within a year. We should spend as little treasury funds until the price goes up. We have 500 million that could be worth 9 billion in a year. And Big Pay has a good point. Like, we are equating it to the USD valuation at these ATLs. But even Alex Becker and many others are alluding that Bitcoin dominance shows us alt season is not here yet. Bitcoin global search is low. Everything's showing us that it's low right now. It's the local bottom. So it doesn't make sense to blast through the treasury. It really doesn't. So I'm observing the psychological things I see on Twitter. I'm observing who's been silent during this fiasco nonsense that I feel like doesn't deserve any attention by a bunch of amateurs, of which their music platform has less streams than my personal SoundCloud. Yes, that's a fact. I'm observing who is giving, like, glossing over the massive lack of preparation by these guys. Yes. I'm observing all of them not even paying $9.99. You don't think perception's important? You don't think checkmark's important? Does Binance roll unverified on Twitter? I don't think so. So I think the passion of the community will defend the treasury by all means. But the final takeaway from us before we look at price is we need to make sure we delegate. I recommend Cardano Yoda, Hosky, Stake with Pride, Big Pay, Chris O. These are all guys who align with my values as well. And we are going to see a lot of situations like this. It's not to say, of course, that they are bad people or that they're scammers or anything, but we need to be vigilant. And everything I'm mentioning to you guys are just observations at the end of the day. I don't know if I showed you guys all the replies here, but even Ascent Rivals, like the team members there, these guys, they had their game featured on Steam. They attended PAX West, one of the biggest gaming conferences, and he said, I haven't seen this portfolio experience or ability to manage a VC fund before. Good initiative, but why would you trust a software dev to do other work, other procedures? Get similar feeling of missing relevant experience. Not saying the gap doesn't need to be filled, but he just wants to see, like, proof of receipts, right? And it's a similar, like, so I'm watching the cadence, and people just, it's a unanimous no. People are just like, nope, 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 nope. And so if people push for urgency on this and they try to brute force this, then the wild cards will be played. The wild cards will be played. If they push for urgency, like, no way, Jose, will I let these 3 UTXO go through. My message, if anyone from 3 UTXO is watching this, is 3 UTXO these nuts. How about that? So let's come over to price. I think that, we want price to go up too, but we can take the price up and have integrity and have fiscal responsibility and be progressive in our spending, because it's all about time and place and experience. And if anything, Noom is a failed proof of concept to show us that, like, they don't know how to market it. Take a look for yourselves. I'm not even going to show you that project. It's cringe. So let's take a look, guys, at price point. I think that we will easily surpass the previous all-time high. And we know that Google Trends is showing us people, they're searching Cardano on Google. Don't take my word for it. Fire up Google Trends and take a look. We know they're sitting on the fence. And when will they start jumping in? Well, they jump in when the rally happens. It happens fast. But I think that with Partnerchains and everything around the corner, I think that the final thing that's very important for Cardano is scalability, and I think that Leios will help a lot with that. And I'm thinking that winter 2025 and beyond, because psychologically we're going into the election, we're going to the cold months of spending with Christmas and whatnot. We're going into, Robinhood acquiring fully Bitstamp and many other acquisitions that are being fulfilled. So I think that it's going to be a matter of kind of almost like a replicating of what we saw in 2020. Now, I've said it before that a lot of it is psychology, which is why 3 UTXO, like, maybe you want a check mark. You ever thought about that, bud? I just get, like, guys, I'm going to have to go Super Saiyan on their arse. It's perception. So why is perception important? Well, perception is important because when the price starts going up, to the normies, that means like, wow, it's a legit project. It's time to buy. It's time to buy. And that's why they always buy the top. Many new wallets are generated like we saw in the previous bull run with Bitcoin. And then many of them exit as it tumbles down. They just do not have the patience. They don't have that conviction in the project. And so I think that we're going to see this continued jitter go for probably, I know some people say October. I don't think so. I don't think that it's gonna be like October. I think that's September, October, maybe November, but I'm still leaning on the cold months. I'm not convinced that Q4 of this year will be like mega pump. I think we're gonna see a repeat of what we saw before. And because like by the time the election completes, right, that goes into the new year, January 2025. And I think regardless of the results, we're still going to get a big Cardano pump. Cardano has an established narrative, an established brand. We just need to make sure we preserve that treasury and defend it from spending. We can spend. You got to spend money to make money. But it has to be with intent. It needs to be calculated. It needs to be objective. And we need to put aside the emotions of just like, come on, bro, just spend it. Trust me, bro. No, we have to be objective. So I think that it's easy for us to hit $5 to $7. I think that's conservative. I don't even think that it's like out of the question at all. Can we hit like double-digit dollars? I think so. I think that Cardano is a staple brand. It's continued to be in that top 15, top 20 range for coming up on 8 years. So we have proven network effect. That's something that even Dawson was alluding to, right? Decentralization is not easy to get right. We've built network effect, something that Bing tried to speed run back in the non-AI days. You can't just speed run that the way Google did. So you got to build that network effect. You got to build the good intentions. You got to build the community. And so we're striking on all cylinders. And especially I see a lot of trolls say that the SEC is coming to Cardano. I would argue the complete opposite. I would say that Cardano has been built in the way that the SEC wants, truly decentralized Bitcoin 2.0. And CFTC has made it clear that most cryptocurrencies are not a security, combined with Ripple paying a 94% reduction in penalty with XRP not being a security, and Brad Garlinghouse expecting a Cardano ETF, in addition to all the amazing ETPs we have with Liquid and whatnot. People can understand Cardano easily. They love to stake. It's like checking account, savings account. When you add the fact that you can vote and change your voting, your staking is unaffected. No vesting period, decentralization, and the narrative of the safe and secure, not my words, that's the words of Steve O's podcast. I don't know how it works, safe and secure. People are seeing this as the Professor Lab coat like OS to build on, right? Bitcoin 2.0, as Cardano Yoda said. So I think that we are ready for takeoff, but we need to capitulate. That's the final thing I was going to say. Psychologically, we need to capitulate in order to catapult. And this is true for all the rest of the altcoins. Alt season happens when everyone finally gives up and they think it's the end. That's when the rally happens, and the rally will happen fast. As we saw here, even January to February, like we were hitting crazy targets just in a 1 month time span, getting multiple X's. So I would say, guys, I'm going to continue watching. My strategy, I'm going to continue watching. I'm going to DCA some more. My last buy was in July, but it's very tempting to buy some more Cardano, maybe some other alts as well. When I do buy, I will let you guys know. But again, I'm in that DCA buying zone because I think anything between 24-cent local bottom and like 36-cent is a fantastic buying range. But let me know what you guys think. You think in Q1? You think in Q2? What do you think about all the Cardano FUD that's been going on? Alex Becker, does he have a bag? You think? I think he does. And hopefully Becker can be our our exit liquidity, you know what I'm saying? With that being said, guys, there's a lot of FUD on Twitter, and it's like, this doesn't seem to be one day that can go by in Cardano without drama, but I think we know what we hold. We know it's a high quality project, and the call to action is DReps. Make sure you delegate to a good DRep. If you're staking on centralized exchanges, then you run the risk of them pointing to a DRep who you don't agree with. So just be mindful of the full context. There's still a lot of time before treasury withdrawals and whatnot are going to be going through. We still have like over 2 months, but time is of the essence. So guys, let's stay positive. A lot of juicy news for Cardano, and hit that subscribe, hit that like. I'll see you in the next Angry Crypto Show.